Prosecutor out there?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're up there. You're coming in now.
Oh.
So prosecutor, come on in, please.
He was out talking to the victim, John. He told him to just come in.
More cases.
I apologize, Your Honor, I was speaking with some of the victims. I know that three of them are here. And I'm not sure which one is missing at the moment. I know that Mr. Corley is here, for sure. Mr. Corley.
Okay, so Matthew, I have 8-6, the last two 8-6 as being the 130, so that complainant is not here right now?
I have three complaining witnesses here right now. I'm not sure who the fourth is. I can run out and ask which one is missing really quick.
Well, I don't want to call a case if you, I mean,
Just call them in the order. You there?
okay, just call them in the order of the docket?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? Yes. Calling case number 2056286, the people of the state of Michigan versus Najee Chandler. Defendant is charged with count 1, robbery armed, count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault, count 3, count 4, weapons, felony, firearm. This matter is scheduled for an examination.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew Stoloff on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, I'm Robert Kenny, appearing on behalf of Mr. Chandler. 35842.
Thank you.
All right, ready to proceed? Any preliminary issues?
Your Honor, I do have one, if I may, approach. For testify.
You said you want a sidebar?
Very briefly, Your Honor, just for purposes of, just how we want to arrange and which of the and then we have officers, I'm not sure if you'd like to go each individual witness separately on each case, and then have the officers, because the officers will be applicable to all four cases. They meet the initial stop. So anything is a stop that results in the arrest, and that is identical to all four cases.
Okay, well, I was doing.
complaint officer, of course. If you got a complaining witness, this is an armed robbery, so.
Your Honor, we'll just be proceeding with the complaining witnesses today then. So I will remove my request.
All right, well, I mean, we'll, there I go.
Very good, Your Honor.
You want to
Your Honor, this time the people call.
Complaining witness on this case is Anthony Furman.
I was unaware that we were starting with that case, Your Honor. We can start with Mr. Carmen.
Farming.
And I would also move for mutual sequestration and, with the exception of the officer in charge.
The record, we have no one in the courtroom but the defendant.
All right, right now, there's no one on Zoom. And, but I have no one who is not on, YouTube. You know, with the time today, I try, you can be reporting or be denied that you testimony. Give exception to the offering for. You raise your hand. Where are you from? Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yeah.
Yes.
You pull the door towards your right hand. All right, your name, please?
Anthony. Furman.
All right, Mr. Furman, you're gonna be asked a series of questions. First by the prosecutor, and the defense attorney will probably ask you some questions, and I may or may not ask you questions, all right? You have to answer all your questions out loud, verbally using words. You can't say, or say, just shake your head, because everything's gonna transpire, all right? Also, when you ask the question, please just answer that question and stop. If it's a yes or no type question, just say yes or no. If they need additional information, they'll ask you another question, right? I know nothing about this case, or very little about this case. What I know about this case is defendant's name and what he's charged with. And now I know your name. I get all my information from what happens in court, one question, one answer at a time. That way I can understand it. Okay? That's the way I gotta see. Because, sometimes when we're especially telling an event that has happened to us and that event has been traumatic, we have a tendency to ramble. We'll say this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. If you do that, I'm gonna miss something. If I miss something, I might not make the right decision. That's why we go one question more. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. Can you just state your name again for the record?
Anthony Furman.
And Mr. Carmen, are you familiar with the offer up app?
Yes.
And did you use that app on March 5th of 2020 to sell it?
Yes.
And what were you posting to sell?
My iPhone 11.
And did you eventually get contacted by anyone through that app to make a sale?
Yes.
And did you ever meet up with this person?
Yes.
And do you recall where you met with them?
Yes.
And where was that?
It was on the intersection of Plymouth and Greenfield. It was at a Family Dollar, right on the corner.
And is that in the city of Detroit, County of Wayne?
Yes.
And what happened when you got there?
When I got there, they pulled up and we were talking about it. They were,
And I'm sorry to cut you off. When they pulled up, what kind of car did they pull up in?
Black Chrysler 200.
Okay, and after they pulled up, did anyone greet you?
Yes.
And what did they say to you?
They were asking about my phone and whatnot.
Okay. I don't know who they are.
They
So,
were
now that they all of them talking at the same time, I don't know how many people this is, it could be one, it could be eight.
Yes, sir, and I'll have them clarify. When you met up with the person in this car, how many people were in the vehicle?
2.
And do you see anyone from that vehicle in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you please point to them and identify a piece of clothing that they're wearing?
You wearing a green shirt? No, put it in a mask.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
Record so reflect.
Thank you. And where was Mr. Chandler sitting in the car?
He was in a passenger seat.
Okay, and after he arrived, what did the two of you do?
Well, yeah, so like I said, I let him look at my phone. I was sitting in my car at the time. And I let him, and he was standing over.
And
Well,
when you say he, are you referring to the defendant?
actually, no, it wasn't him. It was another person who was standing over me. This is when I first met both of them. I could say, the driver met up with me and he was standing over my, the passenger side of my vehicle. And, that's when we first met. When we first met, they put up to the side of me. And then the driver of the vehicle got out and I was sitting inside of my vehicle and he came over to my side.
Gary, you said, the objection about he, I think it's really important now, with respect to he, who is he?
Mr.
I'm not talking
Kerman,
about the driver, somebody else is not in this.
Yeah.
yes, Mr. Kerman, if you could please speak to what the defendant was doing at that time.
Oh, yes. He was still in the car, still in the passenger seat. So we were contemplating on, I do believe they wanted me to,
Objection to very,
I do believe he.
Please.
Okay, you're good. Okay, so I do believe he wanted me to,
Who is he?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily him though, the defendant didn't, I think the defendant really, did was, he wasn't really the initiator of the cell, he just cut out the gun on me. That's something that the defendant did. It was more so,
Okay, wait, stop. Defendant was still in the car.
yeah,
Another person the driver of that car got out of the car,
yes,
and he engaged in some conversation.
yes,
Defendant was still sitting in the car.
yes.
At some point, did the defendant get out of the car?
No,
Never got out of the car.
no, I got inside their car.
Okay, you got inside their car.
Mm-hmm.
You say yes?
Yes.
Okay, and why did you get inside of their car?
Yeah, so, back to the story where, they were.
No, just listen to my question.
Oh,
Answer my question. Why did you get inside of their car? Why did you get inside of the black Viper?
because I eventually was standing, in front of their car. I got out of my car and I was just standing in front of their car. And they were like, you can just sit down, you can just come in, we're not gonna do nothing. And at some point, I believed that if everything was okay, and I kind of had a bit of trust in the situation. So I did get in the backseat of their car.
Okay, and then what happened?
So we were, I gave the driver, my phone.
This is why you're in the car.
Yeah. To look over, because he kept on like looking at it, he was looking at it to make sure I know okay. And, about like, I'd say about 5 minutes in the car, the passenger pulls out a gun and towards me.
Passenger, who?
The defendant,
Right.
And did the defendant ask you to do anything with your phone before handing it over to him?
The defendant didn't talk much. He did ask me, did I have anything else in my car, but that was the driver asked me to unlock my phone and erase it. Whereas the defendant was just saying, do I have anything else in my and I gave him my money. Yes, exactly.
after the defendant pointed the gun at you and you gave him the phone, what did you do?
I gave them the lock code. They gave me the phone back and they wanted me to unlock it.
I'm still objecting to that.
Okay, the driver asked you.
Sorry, the driver asked me to unlock the phone and the defendant asked me to give me all like the money I had in my pocket and whatnot. And so that transpired for about like 2 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, it might be like longer.
And during this time period, were you afraid?
Yes.
And why were you afraid?
Hmm.
And why were you afraid?
The gun was pointed towards my chest and I didn't want him to, from what it seemed like, I didn't want him to act on impulse, so I tried my best to do it.
And after this occurred, after you unlocked the phone and gave the phone to him, what funny thing did you do?
He said, do I have anything else like in my car or something, I remember, and I said I had food, and then, after that, they let me go, they told me to get out.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Thank you, Jay. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, I need just a minute, Jay. What day did you say this happened, sir?
I believe the day was on around March the 5th.
March the 5th? And you remember talking to the police officers that day?
Yeah,
Okay, and then you went and made a statement on March the 10th. You went to a precinct, right?
I went to the precinct, I do believe, I'm sorry, the day that I made the statement was the day that the event happened.
But you told the police officers that came to the scene what happened, right?
They didn't come to the scene, I had to go to the precinct. Because my phone, at the time, I didn't have a phone, so I just went to the precinct to let them know what happened.
Okay, you remember giving a statement to police officers you remember giving 2 statements, right?
I probably told, I think, one to a police officer and one to a detective, maybe.
One statement or 2 statements?
Yeah,
2?
yeah, one to a police officer and one to a detective.
Okay. The one to the detectives you signed, right?
Yes,
2 pages.
yes.
Okay. And then you talked to 2 police officers the day that it happened. I guess that would have been at the 6th precinct. Right down the street from Greenfield.
Yeah, that's what, yes.
The 6 mile, right? It's on 6 mile. That Great River.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you went there, do you remember saying that you did not remember what the men looked like?
No,
That they were just young, appeared to be 5'8" or so in height. They were wearing black clothing and no hats. Do you remember that?
I remember saying, I do remember saying that they were wearing, black clothing.
Okay, your name is Anthony Christopher Furman, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to give you an opportunity to read this.
You approach.
Thanks. Any objection?
No.
sorry, you want me to read the first video?
Fast as you can.
Okay. B1
No,
came.
no. Do it to yourself. Finish reading it?
Yes.
You finished?
Yes.
Do you remember that statement?
Yes.
Okay, is that statement correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember that statement?
Okay, wait a minute. First statement you showed them was a statement taken by the detective that he signed.
No, the first statement that I showed him was taken by notified control desk Sergeant Hughes. That was taken on March the 5th of 2020 at the 6th precinct.
Okay.
You remember that statement?
Yes.
And you signed that statement, right?
Yes.
The difference between that statement and this one's not signed by you.
Can I ask a question? Is it signed by you? First statement?
I don't believe it was.
Well, you don't see your
I don't
signature
see
on
my
there.
signature.
Okay. All right, in the first statement, which was the day of the incident, you said that the driver of the vehicle pulled out a black handgun and pointed it at you.
No.
It's the last line of the very first paragraph. Last sentence, sorry. Last sentence of the very first paragraph. Is that correct?
That's actually not that happened, but I don't remember that.
Is that what it says?
I see what it says.
Does it say that the driver?
Well, if you're using that to impeach him, right?
Yes.
You can say, did he say that? But it doesn't matter what it says, but what it says is, it's a hearsay statement. You can use that statement to impeach him. To say, you know, did you say this? And he gets the answer.
Okay. So you're telling us that you did not say that the driver pulled out a gun and pointed at you?
No, because you didn't.
Did you say that you did not remember what the men looked like, that they were just young, appeared to be 5'8" or so in height, and they were wearing black clothing and no hat?
The only thing I did recall telling the detective was,
No, I'm just asking the question.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Do you remember telling this officer that you did not remember what the men looked like, just that they were young, appeared to be 5'8" or so in height, they were wearing black clothing and no hats? You don't know?
I don't remember. I don't know. But
Okay, you may have told them that?
I can't remember. No, I can't say yes, because I personally remember some descriptions I did give them, but I can't say that I said that, I don't remember that statement. But me saying I don't remember what they look like.
So you're not saying yes or no? You made your statement or?
Has an answer at this point.
Well, I mean, he can clarify it, because he was kind of vague on his answer. So, it's not ask and answer, it's a whole different, it's attempting to clarify his answer at this point. I'm gonna allow him.
We need to know whether you remember giving that or not. Is that it? Did you give this statement? Did you trying to give a description of the?
I'm sorry. Was that a written statement?
Yeah. This is on the day that you said it happened, March the 5th.
I don't remember saying that in the statement.
Okay. And let me ask you. Can I approach again, George?
No.
This is the second statement that I'm handing you. I think that was March the 10th. Am I correct? Up at the top?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a description of what the gentleman looked like in that statement?
There doesn't appear to be a description of what they look like.
On either page, right?
No.
Okay, so the only description that we have here is the description in the very first statement. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you do remember giving a description?
I remember giving a description.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
Redirect, Your Honor?
Maybe,
Redirect, Your Honor?
yes.
Mr. Thurman, do you recall going into the precinct on March 10th of 2020?
Yeah.
And at that time, were you asked to do a live lineup?
I'm going to check
Yeah.
this. That's past redirect. I didn't ask anything about a
We're
line.
going beyond redirect, beyond cross. What's the issue? Beyond what group?
Well, the defense counsel is alleging that Mr. Thurman was unable to positively
Identify them in court.
Good, Your Honor, I'll move on then. Then, Mr. Thurman, just to reiterate, who pulled the gun on you when you were in the vehicle?
Yeah.
And
The
you're
background one.
pointing at the defendant at this time?
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor, for the question.
Any court.
No, yeah.
All right, thank you, you accept that. Okay, brother.
Your Honor, I feel like this is on this case.
Then,
No question, no witnesses.
motion.
Your Honor, this time, people would respectfully request for a bind over. We heard testimony from the witness that the defendant pointed a gun at him during the course of a transaction for a phone. The defendant, or the witness stated that he was in fear that he would be shot and was asked to turn over his phone and all cash that he had on him.
Credibility is an issue at the preliminary examination stage. The only description that he has given to the police before today was that he couldn't give a description. He didn't remember exactly what they looked like. They were 5'8" or so in height, and was wearing all black with no hat.
He said he didn't give that description.
Well, then that means
That's his testimony.
he didn't give any description at all.
Well, they might not ask him, I don't know, but he identified in court. Identified your client, pointed to him and said, this is the person and this is what he did.
I think I got enough from him to say that he did give a description.
Yeah, he said he didn't, but again, these are just two reports. One report, he didn't write. He gave some statement and another officer wrote down whatever that officer felt was important. Second statement on the 10th, my understanding was a statement that he gave to the detective, and he signed that statement. Now, that statement, from my understanding, doesn't have anything about a description in it.
The first, yeah, the second.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing about a description.
right.
And this is almost a year later in court. Now we got masks on and everything. He's the only one with greens on in this courtroom. That's a good guess.
I understand the argument. This is a probable cause.
Yes,
All right. Any further rebuttal?
Your Honor, just that, the defendant, or the witness identifying the defendant, this is a matter of fact right here.
Before having heard the testimony, I understand that on March 5th, 2021, that the witness is was selling a phone off up. He met the son in Greenfield at a $40 parking lot, car pulled up, black Chrysler, people in the car. The driver got out, had some discussion, a conversation with the witness. The defendant was the passenger of the car. The fireman witness, Mr. Giles, car sat outside, and told him to sit down inside. And he did, after about 5 minutes or so of discussion, the defendant, who's the front seat passenger, pulled out a gun, pointed at his chest, and told him to give him everything. Asked him for all his money. The driver told him to unlock the phone and erase it. And then the defendant also asked him, was there anything else in the car? They told him just food, they told him to get out. Still, I know there's been time since then, but they identified him in court. I mean, that's enough probable cause. He said what he did. Court finds that the felony is enumerated complaining warrant due in fact to Detroit, probable cause of this charge is suspended. Will be filed over the Wayne County Circuit Court Criminal Division for arraignment on the information, which will be February 2nd at 9:05.
Calling case number 2056287, the people of the state of Michigan versus Najee Chandler. Defendant is charged with count 1, robbery armed, count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault, count 3, count 4, weapons felony firearm. This matter is scheduled for an examination.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Now, he's still off on behalf of the people.
good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert Kenny appearing on behalf of Mr. Chandler, stand behind him.
All right, any preliminary issues?
No, Your Honor, this kind of deal with ask for an equal separation. Any of all witnesses with an exception to the officer.
Any objection?
No,
Any other witnesses testifying today at trial, any future hearing will be the court will not be denied their future testimony, with exception to the officer's charge. There is no one else on Zoom right now, but I wouldn't be able to tell if anybody's on YouTube. Any first witness? This is the one with, Mr. Hodges, and Mr. Gregory Hodges.
That's correct, Your Honor. At this time, the people call Gregory Hodges.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, hold the door for you, have a seat. All right, We're gonna be asked a series of questions, first by the prosecutor, and the defense attorney will probably answer some questions. And I may or may not ask questions, all right? You have to answer all your questions outside, what you use in the work. Just may say, everything to outside. Also, when you ask the question, please just answer that question, stop. Yes or no question, just say yes or no. If they need additional information, they'll ask another question. And I have a tendency sometimes when we're telling about an event that happened to us, especially if that event is traumatic, we tend to rattle. We'll say, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. If you do that, I'm gonna miss something. All right? I know nothing about the case, the defendant's name and what he's charged with. I know your name. All right? I get all my information from what happened, one question, one answer at a time, so I can understand. Okay? All right. And last but not least, because of the mask and the barriers, you need to please keep your voice up for everybody to hear. All right, thank you. Take a seat.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Howard, please state your name again for the record.
Gregory Hodges.
Thank you. And are you familiar with the Let It Show app?
Yes, sir.
And did you use that app on March 1st of 2020?
No, sir.
Did you ever post any kind of sales using that app?
Yes, sir.
What did you post on that app?
iPhone X Max.
And did you ever meet up with an individual to make a sale for that phone?
Yes, sir.
And when was that?
On March the 3rd,
March 3rd. And where did you meet with her?
at my job site, Chicago and Littlefield.
And is that in the city of Detroit, County of Wayne?
Yes, sir.
And what happened when you got to that location?
I was working and I had the defendant meet me there.
And what did he arrive in?
Excuse me.
What vehicle did he arrive in?
A black Chrysler 200.
And what happened after he arrived?
I approached the vehicle on the driver's side,
And where was the defendant sitting?
in the driver's seat.
And do you see the passenger, or I apologize, where was he sitting?
In the driver's seat.
And do you see the driver of that occupant in the vehicle today?
Excuse me.
Do you see the driver, I apologize. Do you see the driver of that vehicle in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
Could you point to him and identify a piece of clothing that he's wearing?
Right there.
And what is he wearing?
A green something.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witness is identified the defendant. And after he pulled up, what did he say?
I approached the vehicle. He said, get in. So I got onto the passenger side and got into the vehicle.
And what happened after you got into the vehicle?
I put out my phone, the one that he wanted to purchase. I unlocked it and I handed it to him.
And after you handed it to him, what, if anything, did he do?
He just looked at the phone.
Okay, and after he looked through the phone, what did he do?
He asked me a series of questions.
And what questions were those?
What service is it? Is it unlocked? How many gigs?
And after he answered those questions, what, if anything, did he do?
Once I answered the question, he handed me back the phone. I took my SIM card out and he asked me, can I go to Metro PCS with him?
And what happened after that?
I told him, can I ask my dad? So I got the phone back from him, got out the car and asked my father and ride to Metro PCS with him.
And after you asked your father, what did you do after that?
My father stated no and told me to tell him wait until we're done, so he was almost done. So I waited about 5 minutes and then he called my phone saying that he just purchased.
Who is he?
No, Jake, like this.
Okay. After that occurred, what happened?
He called the phone, told me he just purchased it, and I walked back to the vehicle, got back into the car, handed him the phone. He asked me to delete the password in iCloud off of it.
And did you do that?
Yes, sir.
And after you deleted that password, what, if anything, happened next?
Once I deleted the password in iCloud of the phone, he pretended like he was, reaching for some money or something, and he pulled out a handgun, racked it back, pointed at me, and said, "Get out."
And were you afraid when this happened?
Yes, sir.
And why were you afraid?
So he pointed the handgun at me.
And after he pointed the handgun at you and said, get out, what did you do?
I said, are you serious? He said, act like nothing didn't happen. So I just got out of the car.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Do you know that I'm the defense attorney, right?
Okay.
Yes or no?
I did not know.
You did not know? Okay. Well, you said this all happened on March the 8th, right?
The third, sir.
March the 3rd?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you made a statement on March the 8th?
On the third.
Did you make a statement on the 8th?
I'm not sure. I just remember the third. That's all I remember.
Did you make one on March the 1st?
I'm not sure. I just remember March the 3rd.
May I approach, Judge?
Sure.
Well, we always offer it to her, she just doesn't want to take it. She's included in the count tonight. She's included in that count.
Ms. Chandler, hold on.
It's just like our.
Yes, this is Mrs. Chandler.
Whether they want it or not, it's on my card.
Okay, so are you a witness in this matter?
She's one of those.
Excuse me?
Are you a witness?
Well, I'm here from my son.
That's not what I asked you. Are you a witness in this case at all?
No, I'm not.
Okay, where are you? Because there's a lot of noise in your background.
Okay, I was at my job.
Okay, you can
Excuse me?
You can stay on. You just have to mute your system. All
Okay,
right?
thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
That way I can get it out and done.
Can you tell me where I'm supposed to be looking?
At the beginning, that's in March the 1st. Everybody can talk about it.
Yes, it does.
Okay, do you remember going on March the 1st?
I do not remember the first. I might have made a statement on the first. I'm not sure.
Okay. Did you indicate to us that it happened on the 3rd?
I'm not sure. I'm sure it happened on the third, or let me see. It might have happened on the first, and I went in on the third for the statement. I'm not sure. So those time frames may be correct.
Do you remember making that statement? And for the record, that statement says March the 8th.
You say third, sir.
Say that again.
You say third, sir. The March 3.
That says that's when the incident happened, right?
So it happened on the third.
Okay. The statement was made on March the 8th, all right?
When do you see the 8th?
See, is that your signature, Bob?
Yes, it is.
Does it say March the 8th is the date that you signed it?
I guess so, yes.
Did you write March the 8th on there?
Yes, I did.
Did you write that on there indicating that that was the day that you made the statement?
Yes, the day I made the statement, yes.
Okay,
But the third is when the incident happened.
the 3rd is when it happened.
Yes.
Even though that says you made that statement on the 1st. Do you remember walking into a precinct to say that you had been robbed?
So I must, when I first, well, I went in the precinct twice, so
Okay,
that's when the lady, wrote down what I said, and this is, I don't remember this, honestly,
you don't remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
but it happened on third.
On the one that you remember, do you remember giving a description of the gentleman?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me where the description is in the statement?
So the description must be on the paper you have.
All right, so there's no description on the one that you signed, right?
Let me double check. There is a description, sir.
Yeah. Okay, tell us what the description is.
But you have to read, that's hearsay. What is?
That's
what is
his,
reading?
that's his.
That's
is
his
that
written
your
statement?
Yes.
Hold on, this is written statement. He wrote the statement or someone else wrote the statement?
You write the statement?
No, somebody else wrote it, sorry, I was just
No,
speaking.
yeah.
All right. You say he's about 6 feet? The
I was
person
sitting in
that
the
robbed you?
vehicle, sir, so, I can't really determine somebody.
Okay, medium complexion?
Yep.
You're not sure whether you had facial hair at the time or not?
I was not sure, no.
Okay. The person that you believe that robbed you in March of 2020,
Yes, sir.
do you believe that you had an opportunity to see that person since, between that time and today?
Of course not.
Do you believe that you've seen that person prior to that day?
No, sir.
And do you remember saying that the person that robbed you had on green?
Yeah, he had on green, I believe, yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, the only person that has on green in the courtroom today is who you identified.
Sir, I'm talking about the time of March.
And I'm talking about today. The only person that has on green is the one that you identified, right?
Yes, sir.
And none further.
Mr. Hodges, when you had the gun pointed at you and during this whole incident, was the defendant sitting?
Yes, sir.
So when you were looking at him, you only viewed him from a sitting position and you weren't able to were you able to fully gauge his height?
I couldn't. We wasn't sitting in the vehicle, so when sitting down in the car, the seat was under the footwell, the back of the seat. You just look at me,
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
No further.
All right, thank you. Any further witnesses?
No further witnesses on this case, Your Honor.
Yes, I be ready.
No, sir.
Motion.
We identified and reported some iPhone 2, upon entering the vehicle, the defendant pointed a gun at the supervisors and told them to give him everything. But this is a matter of fact for a jury.
Again, the credibility is something that can be established here. At preliminary examination, I understand the probable cause standard, but, it's been a year.
Well,
Your Honor, just briefly in terms of, the credibility, it has been over a year and Mr. Hodges was somewhat unsure as to some dates, however, he was consistent in terms of the general timeframe of everything, and we would respectfully request a find over.
for having heard the testimony, the argument finds as follows. Heard from defendant, Agent Hodges, that on March 3rd, 2020, he had used the Let It Go app to post the iPhone 10 Max. He had a meet up in Chicago and Littlefield over where he was working. Black Chrysler 200 pulls up, the defendant is the driver of that vehicle. He approached the vehicle again, they had some conversation, then looked at the phone, asked him when you go to the phone store. Father said, no, he wouldn't let him go, because he was still working. Then it came back, or called him back, they would get the phone, he would purchase it. Asked him, got in the car, asked him to delete the password, etc. He did that. Then the defendant pulls out a gun and told him to get out, act like nothing happened. I mean, it's a question of fact. Court finds that the felony is enumerated complaining warrant did in fact occur in the city of Detroit. Probable cause of this charge of defendant will be bound over the Wayne County Circuit Court's criminal division for further proceedings. The rating on the information will be 2/2/21 and 9/5 a.m.
To
February 2nd.
Judge, I'm gonna ask you, is it possible to make them, all the ones that will be bound over today, if they're bound over to February the 4th, we have a calendar conference which is in front of Judge Cox, who's going to be handling the cases on February the 4th with respect to the CCW that's already there.
Okay, I can't change the date. Those are the dates that they give us.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can, once whatever's bound over, I mean, you can contact the circuit court and they can change it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling case number 2056288, the people of the state of Michigan versus Najee Chandler. Defendant is charged with count 1, robbery armed, count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault, count 3, count 4, weapons felony firearm. This matter is scheduled for an examination.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew Soloff on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert King, appearing 35842, appearing on behalf of Mr. Chandler.
All right, any preliminary issues?
Your Honor, at this time, the people would ask for a mutual separation of any and all the system instructions the officer.
Any objection?
None. It's just Mr. Court.
All right, any and all witnesses testifying today at trial and future hearing must leave the courtroom or be denied their future testimony. Give exception to the officer in charge. The witness in this case is Terrence Jackson Jr.
Oh.
Move to dismiss.
Matters dismissed. Next need a dismissal form, Mr. King, please.
Right in the middle. See it at the bottom.
Thank you.
Calling case number 2056289, the people of the state of Michigan versus Najee Chandler. Defendant is charged with count 1, robbery armed, count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault, count 3, count 4, weapons thrown a firearm. This matter is scheduled for an examination.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew Solon on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert King, 35842, here on behalf of Mr. Chandler.
All right, this preliminary,
Your Honor, this defendant will move for a mutual sequestration of any and all witnesses with the exception to the officer in charge.
No objection.
all right, you know, witnesses testifying today at trial, any future time, the courtroom are be denied that future testimony, with exception to the officer in charge. Call your first witness, this complaining is name Corey.
Corley, yes, that's
Corley,
correct, Your Honor. Your Honor, this has people call in Corley.
Right. Right here, Jennifer, please. This way. Right. Right. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. What is that motion for? All right, Mr. Corley, you're gonna be asked a series of questions. First by the prosecutor, and the defense attorney may ask you some questions, and I may or may not ask you questions. All right? You have to answer all your questions out loud, verbally, using words. Just can't say, or shake your head, yes or no, because everything's being transcribed, all right? Also, when you ask a question, please just answer that question and stop. If it's a yes or no question, just say yes or no and stop. If they need additional information, they'll get back to another question, all right? We all have a tendency sometimes when we're talking about an event, especially if that event was somewhat traumatic, we have a tendency to ramble. We'll say this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. If you do that, I'm gonna miss something. I know nothing about this case. Only thing I know about this case is the name, and I know your name. That's all. I know the charges. Okay? I get all my information, what happens in court. One question, one answer at a time. That way I can understand exactly what happened and make the right decision. Okay? All right, and last but not least, because of the math and the barriers and all that, I just need you, keep your voice up. You talk directly into the microphone and you won't amplify your voice so everybody can hear. Okay? Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please say your name for the record?
David Corley.
Are you familiar with the Let It Go app?
Yes,
And did you use that app to sell anything?
yes,
And, did you use that app on January 30th, 2020?
yes.
And what were you looking to sell?
iPhone,
And did you eventually encounter someone who was interested in purchasing that from you?
yes,
And did you ever meet up with this person?
yes.
Where did you meet up?
On the west side, Detroit.
You recall specifically where?
No,
Okay. And what happened when you got there, did anyone approach you?
yes,
And, were they in a vehicle?
yes.
What kind of vehicle was that?
I don't think, no.
You don't know?
No,
Okay. And did you see anyone who was in that vehicle in court today?
yes,
Could you please point to them and identify the clothing that they're wearing? Can you identify a piece of clothing that they're wearing?
yeah, a white t-shirt.
Your Honor, let the record reflect what it says identify the defendant in this case.
Remember, so many facts.
And once you met up with him, what if anything happened then?
After I met up with him, we talked outside the car, and I sat in the car, and his cousin was there.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off. Where was he seated? The defendant.
He was in the driver's seat.
He was in the driver's seat, and then where did you enter the car?
I got back up. You said you talked outside the car, who you talked to? Yeah, who you talking, you said you talked to someone outside the car. Okay, that's the person you identified it for.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And where did you enter the car
On the passenger side of the back.
from? Okay, and what happened after you got into the car?
We both was talking,
Read everything off the phone. And what did you, what I did say? You told me to give them everything, don't say nothing. Because both my iPhones I had on me, I love it.
Were you afraid during this time?
Yes,
Why were you afraid?
it was a gun point in my face, I had to, yeah.
What happened after you gave him, your phone?
So I gave him everything, I got out the car, pulled off, and I ran to the gas station at that point.
Thank you, no further questions, all right?
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Courtney,
Yes.
the person that you identified today, have you ever seen that particular person prior to, what's that, January the 30th? Have you ever seen him before in your life?
No.
Have you ever seen him other than what you say is today? You see him in the courtroom and you've identified him, right?
Okay.
You saw him in the courtroom and you have identified him as a defendant in this case.
Yes.
Have you seen him any other time in your life except for today, in January 30th?
No.
Okay. And, well, have you been convicted of a crime involving theft or dishonesty within the last 10 years?
No.
Okay. When you went to a lineup, were you shown like one picture at a time like this?
Yes.
Were you shown, do you remember being shown this picture first?
That was the first picture I saw.
Let me see. Can I approach you?
Sure.
That's the picture that you identified, right?
Yes.
That's the first picture you were shown?
No.
Okay. I thought you just said that was the first picture you were shown. I'm mistaken? I can't hear you.
I said no.
Okay. But you were shown one picture at a time?
Yes.
Okay. Were you there by yourself?
Yes.
But you and the police officer, right?
Yes.
Did you make a statement to these police officers prior to being shown the pictures, or you made a statement after?
Made a statement for this one picture.
You know what the cousin was wearing that day?
No.
Do you know what the driver was wearing that day?
He had on a white t-shirt, I think a blue hoodie.
That day?
Yes.
And he's got on a white t-shirt today.
Yes.
Other than the t-shirt, is there anything else you can wear? Any identifying scars, tattoos, something like that?
No.
Did you see a picture of this particular person on YouTube or what's this app that you use or anything like that?
No.
Yeah. Did that counsel ask you if you had seen the defendant before? Could you clarify if that was in person? Have you seen the defendant in person, since the incident?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any further witness?
Further witnesses, Your Honor.
Defendant?
None, Your Honor.
Motion.
This happened with respect to the request for buying over, we heard testimony that Mr. Corley would meet up with the defendant himself in his iPhone, at which time the defendant witness entered the defendant's vehicle, and the defendant pointed a gun at Mr. Corley. He handed him to over everything. And he stated that he wasn't here, that he was requested buying over as a matter of that.
Have the same problem, and Judge, the ID. This gentleman never seen him before in his life. Never seen him other than these 2 times in court, and he says he saw him on the 30th. The gentleman there had a white t-shirt on, here he has a white t-shirt on. Nothing else other than that. It's signaling that this is the guy.
Your Honor, for rebuttal, I would have mentioned that the defending witness did identify the defendant in a lineup that was referenced to in the cross. So he was able to make an ID at that point, which was significantly closer in time to the incident.
No more, he gets the lineup.
Just on the lineup, is what he brought the lineup. I didn't bring that up.
You asked him about the picture, it was the lineup.
The lineup was impermissibly suggested in that it was one picture at a time.
I believe that was a reference to the lineup that counsel brought up during trial.
I got it. All right, quite having heard the testimony, argument finds that heard from Mr. Damon Corley, who testified that he was advertising an iPhone for sale on the Let It Go app that he met with on January 30th, 2020, on the west side of Detroit. And you remember exactly where in Detroit. Person in the vehicle, he identified the defendant, driver, person in the vehicle, that they talked outside of the car. Then they got in the car, and he was asked to delete everything off the phone. He did. At which point the defendant pointed a gun at him and told him, give him everything, he could keep on some money. He told him to get out of the car, and he went to the gas station and get his phone call. He was also picked out of the lineup. The lineup. But at this point, there was no challenge to the lineup in this court. And I'm not saying that restricts you from challenging. I'm sure it's going to be challenged in the next court, which is probably the better place to challenge it anyway. But in the lineup, he did pick out a picture of the defendant. I mean, this is a probable cause hearing. It is not trial. Just a probable cause. And with that, court finds that the felonies enumerated in the complaint and warrant did in fact occur at City Choice. Probable cause of discharge this defendant, and he'll be filed over the Wayne County Circuit Court of Criminal Division for arraignment on the information. That will also be February 2nd, 2021 at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can I speak about it?
Sure.
Just briefly, Judge. I know you
Let me catch up. $150,000.
I thought it was 100,000, 10% on each one of these cases.
Yeah,
It's 100,000 was reduced.
I think you reduced
yeah,
it
you
for him.
reduced
I
it.
reduced it. Okay.
But obviously, it's not enough for Mr. Chandler. And with respect to the identifications of what's going on here in this particular case, there's no statements being admitted saying that my client admitted that he did anything like this. I'm asking that you consider reducing this from 100,000 to, that means he's got 3 100,000 10% cases in order to pay that money.
Yes, Your Honor. If people would object to any reduction in bond, the bond has already been reduced to 100,000, 10% in each case. These are all capital offenses, and it shows that the defendant is a danger to the community. That this happened over several weeks, and he continued to commit the same violent acts, or allegedly, the same violent acts, include, it doesn't really matter if the defendant is unable to post the bond, it's just that the bond is, whether the bond is reasonable. And I believe that a 100,000, 10% bond is reasonable for the circumstances of these cases.
Yeah, no prior, we have started in this one.
No flags.
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Yeah, I understand the argument, you understand the argument the defense is making. Kind of, in this case, like a two-edged sword. On one hand, the identification is somewhat suspect in that there's not a whole lot of information given out there. On the other hand, each of the witnesses looked at the defendant and said, that was him. He's the one in, that's exactly what he did, and his participation in this. But in line with the Michigan Supreme Court order regarding bonds, I'm gonna reduce the bond at this point. I'm gonna reduce them to 50,000, 10%. I think with $5,000 on each one.
Thank you, Jim.
Your Honor, given that, I would request that there, no contact order be put in place with all complaining witnesses, and would request that GPS tether be put in place as well.
All right, I have no problem with GPS tether and no contact. Mr. Chandler, if you're bonded out, you have no contact with any of these witnesses, or anywhere near them. You understand that? Yes, sir. You understand what no contact means? No contact means you
Yes.
can't have anybody else contact. That's in person, by telephone, text, email, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. You can't put anything about this incident on social media. So you understand that? All right. Look at the bond.
There's an email. No, but it's not in the bond. They lowered the bond.
So 50,000 and 10%
10% on the phone.
is the GPS or?
And GPS tether, yeah. I think you have to do 3 of them. You have to do 3 of them, do one for each file. It's no problem.